What's good, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Welcome to the Monday Night Leadership Call. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jamie Chirio, and I have the pleasure of taking this call over tonight on a Monday night. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be our fearless leader, Mr. Luke Hessler, but his girlfriend's mom actually just went to the hospital with a heart attack. So please, prayers out to them. Make sure you guys shoot them a message. Super sad, but everything's going to be all good. So just put some prayers in their direction. I'm more than happy to come on here and share with you guys some thoughts tonight on a Monday night. So let's get this thing started. I appreciate you guys for spending your time on this call. I'm not going to waste any of it. We have a lot of content to get through tonight. We've got a special interview with our new presidential ambassador, Mr. Alex Lombard, who is absolutely killing it. I cannot wait for you guys to hear his story. But a lot of things that I want to talk about tonight. I want to give you guys some perspective, and especially if you are brand new. If you are brand new, I am talking to you right now. Okay, and if you're not brand new, I'm also talking to you. Listen in terms of the idea of if you were brand new. So big thing I want to talk about, really some things that frustrate me in network marketing. One of the big things that I've noticed is that there's some people that see moderate success. There's some people who struggle, and there's some people who enjoy massive success beyond their wildest dreams. Why is that? The secret to that group of people who have massive success that, really lies within the resources and the training that they have available to them. I want you guys to understand that. We have the resources, we have the training. And I want you guys to know that, some people, they get on these calls, they listen to the material, the training, and the resource, they listen with a casual ear. Some people will study this, they'll listen to it over and over again, and they'll actually be able to go out there and begin to apply the philosophies into their Watabu business. And I'm really excited for what you guys are about to learn, because the more that you learn, what I found is that the more excited you'll be, and you'll realize that this is truly the perfect company and the perfect opportunity for you to tie your dreams to. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The more you learn, the more excited you'll get. And the more excited you get, you'll start to realize that this is truly the perfect company for you to tie your dreams to. So first of all, guys, I want to talk about your why. Okay, your why is the thing that will drive you in this business. It needs to be absolutely crystal clear. Everyone's why is completely different, but you have to keep it in front of you at all times. I'm serious. It's really that important. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. I have my why written down on a goal card. I have my why written down on a piece of paper. Life as I'd like it to be. I read it. It's a letter to myself, reminding myself why I started. If you guys don't know why you're doing this, you need to stop everything that you're doing until you figure this out. Okay, my why. I'll give you guys a little bit of why I do what I do. Obviously family is a super important thing for me. So, obviously I want to go out there and support my family. I want to be able to get to the point where I'm able to retire my mom, retire my dad who's driven the truck for the last 27 years. My mom who works for a school district. She's passionate about what she does, but obviously she wants to travel the world too. My sister, who's a dancer, been doing that in her entire life. She's in one of the best dance companies in the entire world, has shows dedicated to her at the Detroit Opera House, and she makes nothing. Literally nothing doing her passion. So for me, my passion comes a lot from my family, but also, I'll get a little selfish for a second. I want to travel the world. I want to go to every single country in the world. That's what I want to do. And for me, I'm not going to give up until I get there, but I also want to take the entire system and I want to flip it upside down. Okay, I know that network marketing is going to help us do that. I remember when I first met Luke Hessler, he said, we're going to change the world. I was like, how the heck are we going to change the world? And he said, what we're going to do is we're going to do network marketing. I'm like, okay, we're going to do network marketing. He's like, yeah, and we're going to make a lot of money. I'm like, okay. He's like, we're going to build a huge network. I'm like, okay. He's like, we're going to create massive influence. He's like, so if we can create enough income to where we can have time and financial freedom, we build a big enough network and we get influence over that network, we can change the world. And it made perfect sense to me. If you create enough influence, you can change the world. So for me, my why is to create absolute massive influence. I want you guys to really figure out, what is that? What is that? So you cannot move forward if you don't know your why. That's all I'm going to touch on with your why. So now talking to those of you guys that are brand new. For those of you on here that are brand new, or you've even just been in this for a little while, I'm sure that in the getting started process, you started to hear that little voice inside your head, asking yourself, did I make the right decision? Is this Watabu thing really for me? Sure, this might have worked for others, but I'm not really sure if I could do it. You might think, I'm not like that guy. I'm not like that girl. I don't have the skills. I don't know the right people. I don't have the time. Am I really down to own my own business? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, just know that every single one of those feelings that you're having is completely natural. Okay, it is completely natural. Everyone feels the exact same things when they're first getting started. And here's the biggest secret I want to teach you guys about the most successful people in the world. First off, they were a newbie just like you. They were a beginner just like you. And secondly, every single one of them felt nervous. They felt uneasy, if not downright scared and terrified in the beginning. I know for a fact that I did. So guys, if you're feeling any of those things, I want you to know that it's completely okay. But I also want to warn you that when you feel those types of feelings, your mind can start to play tricks on you. It's going to start playing tricks on you to, I guess, quote unquote, protect you. Okay. Your brain will start inventing all kinds of things that are wrong with the business, wrong with the people, wrong with your circumstances, whatever, to give you solid justification for why you don't move forward with the business. But you need to know that you can notice it and you can stop it. And I also need you guys to take comfort in the fact, knowing that thousands of people have come before you and been successful in network marketing, that it's possible. All you need to know is that it's possible, and no excuse that your mind can conjure up is valid at all. Okay? I want you guys to understand that those are fear-induced protection tactics that your brain is creating. And I don't want you to buy into them. And really, I can't, wait. I seriously cannot wait to look back 3 to 5 years from now and remember when we first got started. How we felt, what battles of the mind that we had to fight. But I'm sure as hell glad that we did. Now, look at your car, look at your house, look at your family, look at this lifestyle you've created. You're going to be glad that you pushed through it. And I need you guys to understand something. I really, really need you guys to understand something, that you are seriously the X factor in your business. Nobody else, not your upline, not your team, not your downline. You are the X factor in your success. And the point of this call is that we really want to help you work on you. Okay, I want you guys to understand that. We want to help you work on you. We want to help you become the person that you need to become in order to achieve the success that you want. I want you guys to know that I'm completely unrecognizable from the person that I was 5 years ago. Unrecognizable. I'm not the same person. My old friends see me and I'm a different human being. It's like every single cell in my entire body is different. Okay? So we want to help you become the person that you need to become in order to achieve the success that you want. And I want you guys to know, and this is going to be blunt, I want you guys to know that everything that you've worked to accumulate up until network marketing, all of the knowledge you have is absolutely useless. Okay, I hate to be blunt, but it's the complete truth. And I want you guys to know that all of the education that you've accumulated, your resume, all of your awards, the titles that you've reached, all those are completely worthless to being successful as an entrepreneur, particularly in network marketing. I'm going to go as far as to say that some of those success factors will actually be your greatest inhibitor. Okay, some of those success factors will actually be your greatest inhibitor for you to be able to go out and be successful in this business. And why is that? Primarily because you've spent your entire life relying on those strengths that you've developed. Your success was based on how well you did something. Your success was based on how well you presented and how well you performed. The business that you're in now, guys, is literally the exact opposite model. It's the exact opposite of that. This is one of the biggest mental shifts that I can help you make to be successful in this business. It's not what you can do. It's what you can help others do. It's what you can help duplicate so that hundreds, thousands, and even tens of thousands of people can model themselves after you. Something that literally anybody can do. You guys might be used to 100% of your own effort, but I need you to understand that the beauty of this business is that you can earn 1% of 100 people's effort. We want to create a system of simplicity so that anyone from any background or any skill level can successfully do what you're doing. Okay, anybody of any skill set or background can successfully do what you're doing. And I need you guys to know that we have that system. And don't reinvent the wheel. I tried to reinvent the wheel when I first started. I tried to do it my own way. Do not reinvent the wheel. When we first started with Tabu, we didn't go out there and change the shape of a wheel from a circle to a square. Because that's what I tried to do when I first joined network marketing. I tried to do it my own way. What we did was we took that old, rickety, wooden wheel that was network marketing. We didn't change the shape. We just turned it into a snow tire, okay? We made it better. And your job's not to change the system. It's not. Your job is to just spin the wheel. That's it. Don't change the shape of the wheel. Don't reinvent the system. Just keep the wheel spinning. I need you guys to understand that. We have learned from people that have had 40, 50, 60 years of experience in this industry who've earned $40+ million in commissions. I want you guys to understand we have a system that's based upon results, that's based upon success. And if you follow people who have what you want, people who've done what you're trying to do, you can find success too. I want you guys to understand this as well. You're going to struggle more with what you need to unlearn than what you need to learn, okay? you will struggle more with what you need to unlearn than what you actually need to learn. Because your time in school, your time in sports, other jobs that, they really offered a specific type of conditioning that's going to compel you to do this your own way. Okay? Don't do it your own way. Be simple. Leverage duplication. I want you to forget everything that you know. I want you to be a student again. I want you to be willing to learn. And the most important thing that I can stress before I bring on our special guest is commitment. Okay, and this next guy, he has unbelievable commitment. If you take one thing away from this call, I want you guys to take this. I want you to be here a year from now. Okay, be here a year from now. Write it down on your paper right now. Be here a year from now. Seriously, be here 1 year from today. Stay the course, be consistent, and you will be absolutely mind blown at how far you come. So with that, what I want to do is I want to introduce you guys to one of our up-and-coming success stories, one of my best friends, Mr. Alex Lombard. I really got the pleasure to get close to him here over the last 2 years or so as we worked in multiple businesses together. Now he's one of my best friends. I see him almost every single day, and to see how far that he's come is unbelievable. So really, what I'm going to be doing is asking Alex a couple of specific questions and letting him tell you guys his story, a couple of the things that he's done to overcome some of those failures and roadblocks and things like that, and help you guys gain some perspective into why it's so important to really stay the course in a business like this. So Alex, did you make it on the call, man?
I did, brother. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, dude?
Perfect. What's going on, my man? How are you?
Everything, man. Everything. It's so good. So really, just to start this thing off, man, I want you to just kind of introduce yourself, man, and tell your story. Really, how did you hear about this? What were you doing before this? What did you not like about your life? What was that turning point for you that made you make the plunge into network marketing?
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, first and foremost, I appreciate you for having me on here, and I appreciate all of you amazing people that are on here and taking some time out of your night. And so, with that, like Jamie said, I'll kind of share my story for those who don't know. My name is Alex. I'm 24 years old. I live out here in Michigan as well. And my story kind of starts back when I was like 15, 16 years old. I'm in high school at this point, and I started really looking at my life, looking at my future. And I started to realize that, I didn't want to go out there and do what society kind of says is like the norm, right? Where you go to school, you get good grades, you go into college, you get better grades, you drown yourself in student loan debt, then you go into the workforce and you work a 9 to 5, right? And you kind of do that, until you're about 72 years old. That's the average retirement rate for millennials. And, I don't know. I looked at that system, and I'm not down on jobs. I'm not down on school. I'm just more up on opportunity. I felt like there was more to this world. I always felt that, as God's highest form of creation, that I had a purpose. I felt like I was meant for more than just going to get some sort of job just to pay the bills so that I could, party on the weekends, right? I felt like I was worth more than just, living this life so that, this 9 to 5 lifestyle so that I could go out there and enjoy 1 or 2 vacations to escape reality, right? I just didn't believe that that was my path. And so at this young age, I realized that there was other ways. I knew that there was other opportunities in this world. And so I set out on a journey from about 15 till 21 years old where I was just searching. I always believed that the only way you can actually find your purpose is by stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something different, taking risks, taking opportunities, getting into some trouble, doing some adventures and all that, right? And so that's what I did. And so from 15 to 21, I was the kid that played a lot of sports. I did a lot of different activities. I joined a lot of different clubs. I had a lot of friends. I was always just looking for the next adventure, looking for the next excuse to just go have fun and try to figure out, is this what I'm supposed to do, for the rest of my life? And so I get to about 21 years old and I'm in school. I'm in college at this point. I was in school and I started to feel stuck, right? I don't know if you guys are on here and you're at this point in your life now or you ever have been, but I felt stuck. I felt like everything I did in the past just didn't work. Like, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a great, growing up throughout high school, I had a great time. But I just still didn't really figure out what it was I was supposed to do on this earth. And that's when I started to get a little bit scared. I started feeling, fearful for my future because I'm looking at my future and I'm like, I got 2 years of school left. And then I got to go out into the workforce, and get a job, right? Unless I go figure out some sort of other plan. And that's when everything changed. Everything changed. I got introduced to this incredible industry where I learned that I could create my own economy. I could be my own boss. I could, help other people. I could give back, service to others and just have fun, man. Like go out there and have a good time every single day, just growing in all the categories of life. And I fell in love with this industry as soon as I heard about it about 4 years ago. 3.5 years ago when I was 21 years old, broke, confused, and scared in school. And so I got started then, with the previous venture, and I learned so much, connected with so many people. Actually, how I met Jamie, how I met Mr. Luke Hessler, and, these guys absolutely revolutionized my life by really just showing, honestly, all they did was they just showed that they actually cared and they believed in me before I even believed in myself, which is amazing. I love that. And so much respect, going back to you guys. So that's kind of where we're at. It's been an amazing journey since then, and the future of what we got going here with Watabu, you guys, it is second to none. I mean, it is literally second to none what we have right here. So I'll throw it back over to Jamie. That's a little quick story of me, and we'll go from there.
Boom. Awesome, man. I love that story. I guess the biggest thing that, I know that everybody really wants to know, man, is what changed in terms of your mindset, your commitment, the actions that you were taking. What changed just in the last couple months leading up to this month that really got you to the point where you just made the decision, went all in? You set a goal for presidential ambassador, and you're well over 6,000 volume already, on your way to global. Just absolutely smashed your goal, which is so freaking amazing, dude. But what was it that changed, man?
I would say the biggest thing, there's kind of two things. Number one was this kind of what started it, right? Getting into the momentum cycle. I think it's just such an important thing to do in this world, where you start having these little achievements, right? And it starts building up your confidence, building up your belief, and you go out there and you just absolutely explode, and you're just on a constant positive momentum cycle. And, previously I never really experienced that cycle. I was always kind of all over the place. Focus was here, then it was over here. I'd be up one day, then down one day, and it's belief would be all over the place, things like that. And it's with this, what I saw with Watabu was that it was the first time in my life that I really sincerely believed that people in this generation would love what we're doing. It's who wouldn't love this, right? And it's so then I just had that belief as soon as we got started with this thing. And so from there, I got into that momentum cycle where I started finding a little bit of success here, and then I started meeting some incredible people, all around the planet, all around the country, and seeing their excitement, seeing their enthusiasm about Watabu really got me going and made me realize the opportunity that we actually have. And so I'd say the biggest thing that honestly changed for me was just simply the belief. I just made the decision that, based off of what I've seen with this company and what it can do for people, that this is it, that this is the future, that this is an opportunity that you're not going to find anywhere else out there. And so I just made the simple decision that this is it. I'm going to go all in with this. I'm going to put all my focus on this, and we're going to go see what happens. And obviously, from there, it's been blowing up. And so I would say the other thing as well is just using the system, man. Before, kind of like what you were saying earlier, Jamie, when I started this industry, it's you guys would tell me certain things. Oh, here's how you invite, here's how you present, here's how you do this and that. And I would be cool, awesome. I would take your advice, but I would kind of just go do it my own way. And I would just kind of see if I could figure it out, And it's it really just doesn't work. And it honestly doesn't make any sense. It's we know what works, so just do what works, right? And so with this company, I'm just using the tools, you guys. I'm not doing anything different than anybody else. I'm just simply using the tools, sharing the story of Watabu more than other people. That's literally all I'm doing. And I'm getting excited and passionate when I'm sharing it with other people.
Awesome, man. So let's talk a little bit about the struggle, man. Let's talk a little bit about some of the hardships, because that's what's going to really go into the end of this call, is talking about some kind of the antagonism that you can get from the people around you. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people are curious how a lot of us have overcome, because I always say that classic quote, you can let the struggle defeat you, you can let it define you. And I know a lot of us, we've been through that crazy struggle. We've had our best friends quit on us. Our parents have thought that we were completely crazy. Everyone around us, it was network marketing. Are you kidding me? Really talk about some of that, man. What were some of the experiences that you went through, specifically, where, you had to experience some of that, I guess, antagonism from the people around you, and kind of what you did to overcome that for some of the new people on the call?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, first and foremost, you have to understand that it's going to happen, right? I mean, obviously there's a reason why we're talking about this right now, because it's going to happen. I always talk to new people. I'm listen, you have to understand that you are doing something different than everybody else. You're stepping away from the system that I was talking about earlier. You're doing something different than the masses, which means that they are going to look at you differently. They're going to be you're crazy, right? And that's exactly what this is. But if you look at anyone in this world who's ever accomplished anything big, they were at one point labeled crazy, right? The people looked at them like they were insane. But then, obviously they got to the point where they are now, whoever you pick, and it's you see their accomplishments. And so with this business, it's no different. You just have to accept that. You have to accept the fact that people, people that you care about, your friends, your family, your coworkers, they're going to say things that aren't going to make you feel, good. Right. And I think for me, specifically, friends, I had a lot of friends when I started this business, and I had a group of about like 15 of us when I got started, in this industry, and none of them are with me today, literally none of them. And they were like my best friends. A couple of them started with me back then, but they kind of dropped out. And a lot of them were really just super against it. And they were like, you're insane, you're crazy, you're dumb, what are you doing? You're psych, whatever, right? You get all of it. And I think the thing that really allowed me to overcome those obstacles was, number one, the vision. Really just having that why that you were talking about as well. Really having that thing ingrained inside of you, and realizing that like you are not going to quit until you accomplish it, period. So it doesn't matter what obstacles you face, you're going to keep going until you accomplish whatever your dream is in this world. Allow that vision to seriously pull you. But I think another thing as well is just understanding that like, when they do that, you have to realize that when other people, when they make fun of you, right, for doing your own thing, building your own business, but part of network marketing, they simply are just uneducated. They don't understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I think it's just important to realize that. And I mean, this changed my life. When I understood this, it changed my life. That if people do not have what you want in this world, when it comes to money, when it comes to freedom, when it comes to lifestyle, happiness, you name it, if they don't have what you want, their opinion on that matter doesn't matter, right? It's like the whole phrase, like, I'm not going to go ask my mom how to play basketball. She's not good at basketball, right? You're going to go study the greats like LeBron and Michael Jordan and, whatever. And same with this, you guys, if you want to make money at a young age, you want to travel the world, you want to build a business with amazing people around the world through your phone, then you have to listen and study people who are doing that. If your friends, your friend who's working at, McDonald's making $7.50 an hour is telling you that this is stupid, it's not going to work, that's cool. He has the right to say that opinion, to state that opinion. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's just his opinion. It doesn't mean anything, right? He clearly doesn't know how to go out there and find success, right? Otherwise, he'd be doing it. And so I think for me, it's just realizing that if they didn't have what I want in this world, even though it can feel, you can feel that, right? When someone says something negative to you, you can get that emotion, because it's someone you care about. Just understanding that at the end of the day, they just simply don't. They just don't get it. They just don't understand. And you just have to accept that. And you just keep going. You cannot quit, because anything worth having doesn't come easy, right? It just doesn't. So you cannot quit. You got to stay committed, just like Jamie said.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. So last two questions. I want to talk about rejection and people telling you no. What is the main way that you go about overcoming, people telling you no, and people, rejecting and things like that? Or even people just kind of falling out of the process. You lose someone in the follow-up. What do you do when you kind of, get to that point where, someone rejects you or says no, or just kind of falls off?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. You just move on. It's as simple as that. You just understand that you got to condition yourself to understand, again, that that's going to happen. I love the whole like phrase, if you bat, a 300, a 3 out of 10, in the MLB, you're in the Hall of Fame, right? That means you miss 7 times, right? 7 times. That means, think about it, this industry, same exact idea. If you get someone enrolled, someone signs up in your business, gets started with Watabu 3 out of 10 times, that means 7 times somebody said no. They said, you're crazy, this is never going to work. It's the same exact idea, right? I don't care when someone says no, because I know that if I tell a good story long enough, it's going to fall into the right hands, right? Just like Mr. Jim Rohn, the great legend, says, it's the same exact idea. So when it comes to rejection, I think the only way to really condition yourself to kind of develop that like bulletproof mentality is by just being rejected enough times. That's all it is, right? You go out there and you hit up 50 people, you're going to get rejected a lot. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it works. But here's what's cool is that if you do actually do that, you're going to start to realize that, yeah, all these people said no, but these people said yes. And so I put my focus on them. I talk to them. I help them grow. And I keep going out there, and it's just a sorting game. It's the whole deck of cards analogy. You go through the whole deck of cards. There's only 4 aces. All the rest of them told you you're crazy, you're dumb, they're not going to work. But you have to go through all 52 cards in order to find those 4 aces. But those 4 aces change your life. They change your business. Everything was different after you found that. So just really conditioning yourself by going out there and just doing it and getting rejected and realizing that that's just part of the industry. That's just part of business. That's just part of sales in general.
Awesome, man. Last question. Okay, if you could go back. So, real quick, how long have you been in the industry now?
Coming up on 4 years.
Okay.
3.5, somewhere around there.
So if you could get in a time machine and jump back 3.5, 4 years, and you could talk to yourself when you first got started, what is the advice that you would give yourself moving forward?
Yes, that's an incredible question. So here's what I would do. Have you guys ever heard of the great Tony Robbins? This is what he says when it comes to finding success, that number one, you have to make a decision, right? You got to make the decision that you're going to do it. And then number two, once you make that decision, you have to take all out massive action immediately. Like, you have to take action right away. And so if I was to go back when I first started in this business, I would just go out there. Obviously I made the decision, right? I got started. Then the second part is taking the all-out massive action. Yes, I did take some action, but it was more like I hit up a couple of my friends, and it was like they all said no. And then I hit up a couple more, and then I got like one or two, and it's like, it was cool. But like, if I could go back, what I personally would do is I would legitimately make a monster list, and I would just run through that thing as fast as possible. Because at the end of the day, people aren't numbers by any means, but this is a numbers game. And so the more numbers that you go through, the more success you're going to find. The more people you put through that pipeline that you guys have seen Luke talk about, the more success you're going to find. And so I would have just done that a lot sooner, as opposed to having the fear of being rejected and the fear of, people quitting on me and thinking I'm crazy hold me back. I would have just been like, you know what? I see all these leaders doing it. I see all them getting rejected all the time. I need to just go out there and freaking rock this thing. And I need to just talk to as many freaking people as I possibly can, because I know that those aces are out there. What we have is gold. And so I would have went back. If I was to go back, I would have just taken all out massive action, way more than I did when I actually first started.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, dude, I appreciate you for jumping on this call. Seriously, you did absolutely phenomenal, dude. I cannot wait to have you on again when you are a global ambassador and you smash 10K. So, dude, I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, man.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. You're a champion. All you guys are awesome. Shout out to the Warrior Squad. These guys are blowing up this week, so watch out. You got those swords on here. They're going to keep growing. So, yeah. So with that, I appreciate all of you. Jamie, thank you, man. You killed it, man.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, guys, I'm excited to get back into this call. That was just a phenomenal piece, by Mr. Alex Lombard. Absolutely killed it. One of the big things that I took away, guys, I talked about, the rejection, the whole idea of, getting told no, the people around you that are going to judge you throughout this process. One thing that I've really learned, guys, is that, being a network marketer, it can be met with some serious antagonism. I've experienced it. Okay. Your friends and your family, they're going to try to talk you out of your new ambition. First thing I want you guys to know is that it's important to inform you that some of the emotions you're going to feel when someone says no to you, because I need you guys to know that, you have to remember that they're not saying no to you as a person. Okay. Write that down. They're not saying no to me as a person, even though it might feel that way sometimes. They're saying no to the business, and more importantly, they're saying no to themselves. So I want you to write down, they're not saying no to me as a person. They're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to the business. Guys, if someone says no, it doesn't mean never. It means not now. The timing's not right. Okay, write that down too. If someone says no, it doesn't mean never. It means not now. The timing's not right. Come back to them and love them anyways. Okay, love them anyways. And now what I want to do to really, close this call out, guys, I want to tell you a story. Okay, I want to tell you guys one of my favorite analogies. Okay, and some of you guys might have heard this before, but it's called the crabs in a bucket. Okay, some of you guys have heard this before, but the crabs in a bucket. And now here's how the story goes. There is this particular type of crab, okay, and it's agile and it's fast enough to literally get out of any trap that you put it in. Yet, every single day, these crabs are caught by the thousands. By the thousands, even though they're the fastest and most agile, they can get out of any trap. They're caught by the thousands every single day based on a human trait that they possess. Okay, so it's based upon a human trait that these crabs possess. Here's how it goes, guys. The trap is a wire cage with a hole in the top. So imagine a cage with a hole in the top, and you place some bait into the cage. Okay, and then you take that cage and you lower it into the water. Okay, you lower that cage into the water. And one crab will come along, he'll enter the cage, he'll begin eating the bait. Now a second crab decides to join him, he starts eating the bait too. Now a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and eventually the cage is full. Okay, and also, eventually, all the bait is gone. So eventually the cage is full, and eventually all the bait is gone. And I want you guys to understand that the crabs could easily climb up the sides of the cage and out through the hole. But they don't. Okay, they don't. They stay in the cage. They stay in the cage. And other crabs, they continue to come along and join them long after the bait is gone. So the bait's gone, yet more and more crabs continue to join them. Now, should one of those crabs realize that there's no further reason for them to stay in the trap and they attempt to leave, the other crabs, they're going to start ganging up on him and stop him by any means necessary. They're going to repeatedly pull him off the sides of the cage, and if he persists, they're going to tear off his claws to keep him from climbing, and if he continues to persist, they're going to kill him. So guys, the crabs, by the force of majority, they stay together in the cage. Okay, the cage is hauled up and lunch is served. Now here's the chief difference, guys. The chief difference between crabs and humans. Here's the chief difference between crabs and humans. Crabs live in water and humans live on land. That's the chief difference. Crabs live in water and humans, they live on the land. I want you guys to understand that anybody who has a dream, one that might get them out of what they perceive to be a trap, had best beware of the fellow inhibitants of that trap. Okay, I'll say that again. Anyone who has a dream, one that might get them out of what they perceive to be a trap, had best beware of the fellow inhibitants of that trap. Guys, the humans, they don't generally use physical force, but they have other ways of bringing you down, such as innuendos, doubt, ridicule, mockery, sarcasm, scorn, sneering, belittlement, humiliation, taunting, teasing, and dozens of other tactics that the crabs around you are going to use to pull off your claws and kill your dreams. I need you guys to be aware of the crabs around you that are content with staying in the trap. There are people around you that are content with staying in this trap. Here's the thing. You make them look bad. You make them look bad. You are one giant exposing mirror to them. Your actions are being reflected back to them. They know that they should be doing exactly what you're doing, but they're afraid. It's easy for them to make fun of you, trying to convince you that what you're doing is dumb. Why what you're doing is dumb, in hopes that you're going to give up and come back to the trap so they no longer have to look at you and feel bad about themselves. I need you guys to love them anyways, but do not let them drag you back into the pack of mediocrity. Okay, do not let them drag you back into the pack of mediocrity. So that story, it's so true. I'm sure that every single person has experienced the crabs around them, pulling off their claws and killing their dreams. Guys, I've been there. I've been at a point where my parents, they didn't support me. I've been at a point where all of my friends, they thought I was absolutely crazy. I was doing something so different than Watabu. I was selling energy drinks, and we still built a team of over 28,000 people. On my first day in network marketing, my first day, because I didn't know what network marketing was. I didn't know the legitimacy behind it. On my first day, I sent out a Facebook message to over 500 people, my first day. Guess what that Facebook message said? I won't read it because it's about 5 pages long, take you about 10, 15 minutes to read. But the first thing I said was, hey guys, I just joined this awesome pyramid scheme. That was the first sentence. Hey guys, I just joined this awesome pyramid scheme. I sent that out to 500 people my first day. Now, once I learned that pyramid schemes were illegal and network marketing was a completely different thing, and I was a part of a legitimate network marketing company that was doing over $200 million in sales, I started freaking out and backtracking, sending all these messages, being like, that's not what I meant, blah, 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 back and forth. And, I lost a lot of credibility. I went from, being the guy who had all the friends in the world to being the guy who stopped getting invited to the parties because everyone thought that I was going to show up with a case of energy drinks over my shoulder, ready to party and sell. And that's exactly what I was ready to do because I was in that mindset, okay? Seriously, I lost some friends. I was the kid who, rather than going out to party, I wanted to do calls in my mom's basement before I got my own place. I wanted to spend the entire summer indoors talking to my friends, telling them about an opportunity that changed my entire life. So guys, I've been there. I've had the people around me not believe in me. I've had my parents say, when's it going to happen? I understand that it's changing your life, but when's it going to happen? I felt that before. I felt that struggle. I felt that outside pressure. I had to completely disconnect myself from a lot of those people. It sucked. It really sucked. But my relationship is so much stronger with those people today because guess what? I didn't give up. And they see that. I stood my freaking ground. I went out there and I made it happen. That's it, period. Even after I built a company for 3.5 years, I quote unquote made it and it shut down overnight. And my dad was like, so you're going to go get a real job now? Guys, I've been there. I have felt it. I know exactly what it feels like. You got to keep moving forward. You cannot give up on your dream. You got to know why you started. Okay, guys, so here's my major takeaways from the call. I need you to be here 1 year from now. Be here 1 year from now. I need you to go out there and make the commitment. You'll be able to say that you were here. You'll be able to say that you were a part of history. You will be able to say that you were here when this thing first started and before it became the most revolutionary network marketing company in the history of this industry. Guys, have that depth of vision. See things not for what they are, but for what they are becoming. See yourself not for who you are, but for who you are becoming. Make the commitment that you're going to be here no matter what, and you're going to do the right things long enough consistently. I want every single person in this group, if you're serious, only if you are serious, to make a post in the page saying, I will be here a year from now. I commit to being here 1 year from today. I will be here 1 year from now, and I want you to post your goals in the next year. How much money do you want to be making in the next year? What kind of person do you want to become? I don't want you to just write, I will be here a year from now. I want you to write, what is your goal? Where do you want to be in the next year, and who do you want to be? Okay? Where do you want to be, and who do you want to be in the next year? So I challenge you to be here 1 year from today. Don't just post it. Don't just copy and paste it. I want you to take some serious time and post on the page to make a commitment that you will be here 1 year from today, who you're going to be, the rank you're going to be at, as well as the person you are going to become. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Just know that we are going to change the freaking world. The heart behind this company is unbelievable. And you guys are going to learn it more and more every single day as we continue to go. Remember, the more you learn, the more excited you get. And the more you're going to start to realize every single day that this is the perfect company and the perfect opportunity for you to tie your dreams to. So be here 1 year from today. I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a fantastic night, and we'll talk soon.